Japan became the strongest military and industrial power in East Asia. Okay? Because, now, during this time, as most of you know, this was the age of imperialism, and and Japan decided that it didn't have any colonies of her own. She would be being overpowered by the other colonial powers, just Britain or France. And so, meanwhile, China was in decline, and Korea was in chaos. So Korea's king asked for the Chinese for assistance. Chinese did send troops, however, the Japanese wanted control of Korea, so Japan declared war. Oh, and they fought over the so-called Hermit Kingdom. Continuing, the war ended in a surprising victory for Japan, which even shocked the Western world. China was forced to give up Taiwan and the Penghu Islands, which became Japan's first colonies. And China also had to pay a total of 340,000 taels in silver to the Japanese as war reparations, as part of the Treaty of, how do I pronounce this?
Shimonoseki.
Shimonoseki. Yeah, not even I could pronounce that. Continuing on, Japan also participated in the Boxer Rebellion of 1900. It was a member of the Eight-Nation Alliance, which consisted of Italy, Russia, Germany, Austria, Hungary, France, and Great Britain, and the United States. So the whole purpose of the rebellion was that the Boxers, which were an anti-Western group, took missionaries hostage, and the Western nations came in to rescue them. Continue on. Around this time, also, Russia had interests and plans to take control of Manchuria and Korea because they wanted a warm water port on the Pacific. Russia, even as of today, still has no warm water port, and their plan was to take control of Manchuria, then fortify Port Arthur. This, however, didn't get the Japanese happy, so they declared war and launched a surprise attack against Russia. Moving on. The war ended in a very costly victory for Japan, and a very humiliating defeat for Russia. If you want more information about this, you'll have to take World History 1 or World History 2B, or take European History 1B. That's another story for another day. Okay, Russia had to give up its claim to Manchuria and the Port Arthur and the South Manchurian Railroad. And Korea was formally annexed in 1910. By the way, Teddy Roosevelt came in and mediated between the two powers, and that was the Treaty of Portsmouth. Continuing on, he also wanted a Nobel Peace Prize for that. Okay, now how many of you know about World War I and how devastating that was for Europe? Anybody? Come on, raise your hand, people. How many of you know how devastating World War I was for Europe? Well, Japan was involved in World War I, believe it or not. They declared war on Germany in 1914 because they were an ally of Great Britain. They formed an alliance in 1902. And this was an opportunity for Japan to pursue her empire building. They seized Germany's colonies in China and the Pacific. They attacked the port of Tsingtao, which was where Germany recalled her ships and cruised here.